I hated to start the video doing that, but it is what it is. Figured I'd take a sip. Whoever's on here is on here. If not, that's cool too. Late night, obviously. Welcome back to the Wisdom Channel, and I want to talk about this rat race, the workforce, all of these other things, and just asking yourself, "What's up, man? What's up?" I wanted to talk about this, but I also want to do a video, which I might do immediately after this. Who knows? On Kanye West and the free thought concept, because a lot of people are having issues with that, the issue of free thought, because supposedly I guess we're all supposed to think alike for some reason. But anyway, we're talking about, well, I'm talking about this rat race that some of us find ourselves in, for those of us who have to work the 9 to 5, as opposed to there's some people who go throughout their entire lives and they just sit home and they don't have to worry about working. But there's others, like most of us, the majority of us, working class people, who aren't business owners, who aren't self employed, who have to go punch a clock and have to put up with certain things that, they feel they dread going to work. A lot of people dread going to work. Probably the majority of people dread going to work and dealing with a boss that's a hole and stuff like that. And all of the things that come with it. You may have, if you look at the entire picture, you probably fought to get the job that you had. You probably went through this extreme. Maybe some of you did, some of you didn't, but you probably went through some extreme interview process. Maybe a friend hooked you up, you were referred, or you prayed for this job, used law of attraction, did all types of stuff, prayed or paid for the job. And once you're on the job, you find out that, you encounter certain issues, you encounter a supervisor you may not mesh with well, or productivity or something that is expected of you that's you're not able to meet, or someone just set standards for you to meet or change up or enforce certain things that is unrealistic, and if you don't meet it, these expectations, you'll be terminated. So i I think a lot about this. Obviously, a lot of people, some people's goals are to work for someone their entire life, and they're cool with not managing their own business. They're cool with other people doing that for them, supporting, that whole saying that goes, you're helping build someone else's dream, because that kind of keeps you from having to deal with all of the ins and outs of managing a business. But just like any business and the right to work concept, you can be terminated at any given time. And whether you're a union or whatever have you, there's very little protection a lot of times, that you can really be gone. You can come into work and be gone any day for anything, for the most part. Even if you're supervising, this is with a lot of stuff, but if your supervisor feels that it's something personal, there's a there's there's a personal vendetta against you, or you guys have a disagreement, they can use that or use whatever leverage they have against you to have you terminated and eventually force you out, or make it so miserable at your job that you don't even want to be there anymore. And this happens with a lot of people because of, disagreement and things like that. It happens. So a lot of people find themselves, you know, with investigations, pending disciplinary action, was it ombudsman, HR. You're in a position where you're fighting for a job that's not really willing to fight with you, and they're going to side with the supervisor, right or wrong, no matter what. Even if you're in the right, they're going to side with the supervisor or the manager or the boss, and you just being an employee, you're really a nobody at the end of the day. But you're fighting for this job. Just the concept of that, this whole concept, this workforce, the concept of you fighting for a job that doesn't give two what's about you, and they can get rid of you at any given time. It's just it's crazy to me, and many people find themselves in this position every day of trying to fight for this job, trying to beg and plead, trying to have their paperwork and stuff in place, and it's like a lot of times for what? The fact of the matter is, when someone has that kind of power over you or that leverage where they can say or do something, and you don't really, other than you expressing your opinion or you being docile or submitting to whatever it is that they want, or you basically kissing their ass, hoping that you don't upset them. And a lot of people, y'all find yourself in that position of kissing ass or kissing someone's ass that you don't really like, but you have to punch in that clock for the sake of your kids, family, or whatever else that you feel. And this person, a lot of times, they know it, and they wield this power and they abuse this power, and you find yourself being submissive, doing things that you wouldn't ordinarily do just to make things work. Because a personal argument or a personal difference with this person can spell your end as far as you working on that job, a reference, or anything like that, you relocating. So, once again, I ask, is it really worth the fight? Yeah, especially if you're in a position where you're helping someone build their dream, or because some employers will let you know straight up that they don't care about you. You're disposable, you're replaceable. If you were to die today or die tomorrow, they will have somebody replacing you within the week. A lot of times, most jobs. And this is just the nature of it. As a human being, your value, I mean, human being as far as on these jobs, your value is pretty much based upon how much money. If you're not really making a company money, then you're just a liability. And they see it certain ways, but it's been like that even when I was in the military. If you're not, kissing butt, if you're not, you have to try not to upset the person who's giving you an evaluation or anything like that. Many times people find themselves in that position or confused and stuff like that. But really ask yourself, I really did that video, is the reason why I did this video is to ask yourself, what are you fighting for, and is it something, how far would you go for it if that company, because these your job isn't insured. People get a job and think that everything's good and then they're gone. The job's not insured. You're not insured with it, so why not do something or put yourself in a position, especially if you're not happy on your job, in a position where you're able to generate your own income, which is why you always need to have a plan B, because anything could come up, anything could happen at any given time. So I say that to say, think about it if you ever find yourself in a position of disagreement or someone having leverage over you. What is it really worth it to you at the end of the day, the battle that's fought and stuff like that? And what's really important to you at the end of the day. Are you willing are you willing to create your own lifestyle and follow your own heart and bring your dreams into fruition, or are you just at the point where you're just trying to help someone else, or you feel like I have to depend on this job, this is all I have, especially if it's paycheck to paycheck, just to be able to make ends meet. Which we all have to work at the end of the day. You don't work, you don't eat, or you, the only other thing is you're dependent on someone else to make it happen for you. So, just thoughts that I want to bring and put on this video. So, put out on this video. I know I'm tired. I'm just talking crazy. Well, my sentences aren't really making much sense. So, with that being said, yo, I appreciate you guys tuning in. For those of you watching the restream, make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links